I'm so excited, you guys. Let's get into the game. Oh, and I finally, just like 5 minutes before I started the stream, I dinged 80 on my, on Warrior. Got her all glammed up. Looking pretty good, huh? I think so. I think she looks pretty good like this. I'm digging it. Alright, let's get in. We're so excited. Sorry for the crunching. I'm just like starving here. Like every bit of extra time I had this week was working on that bathroom. And then the house was a mess. So we had to clean it before the company comes later today. So it's just been nonstop. Alright, I gotta finish up melding my gear here with materia, then we'll get started. So, let's see, hold on. I need some tenacity. Let's see. Yeah. Let's get 3 of those. Alright, let's meld up. What? Oh. There we go. We'll do that. Because tenacity is actually good for warriors. At least I've read. Hopefully BB10 pops in here before I get started. There you are. I'm just putting some, materia in my warrior's gear. And then we'll get started. We'll be starting here in a second. Let's see. Okay, we're good. Put all this crit plus crit in there. I'm like, I had a late lunch, and with all the work I was doing and everything, I was just hungry. So sorry for the crunch. I'm almost done. All right, that's done. Yeah. I'm digging this outfit. Actually, I think we're just gonna start the quests with me on them. Well, nah, I don't have to do the warrior. Alright, anyway. I mean, I could, but I'm not actually gonna level with the quest, so. There's actually a headpiece. It's actually a headpiece I got on the mod station. And I think it works for, here, we'll get rid of this. It works for, the warrior, this glam. Like, I took it off, and I'm like, it just looks like she's missing something. And I put it back on, I'm like, perfect. Perfection. So. Alright. Where were we? New Game Plus. Endwalker, Part 1. Oh no, I bought it a while ago. I bought it a while ago. Okay. let's get started. Across the realm, ominous towers of Telophorai's making strike into the heavens, fueled by the pillaged piety of captured innocents. The final days, an apocalyptic threat unknown to living memory, loom on the horizon. Yet Charlian, the veritable capital of knowledge, would rebuke the Eorzean Alliance's plea for assistance. Undaunted, the Scion set forth to discover that what wisdom could possibly lurk in turning a blind eye to the calamity. Alright, where are we going? The next ship to sail. Alright, let's see. Back to the Rising Stones. Oh, I have Renoa out too. Alright. Oh, sorry, I got a burp a little bit. I'm drinking root beer too. Rislin, do you have some time to talk? I would like to gather everyone in Dawn's respite and together assess the situation in which we find ourselves. Homemade root beers. Well, not really. Let us take stock of the facts, shall we? The crisis at hand began with the sudden appearance of ominous towers in a multitude of locations throughout the world. We have since learned that said structures were brought into being by an organization known as the Telophoroi. The Telophoroi's stated purpose is to recreate the final days of eons past, an apocalyptic event that would result in the destruction of all we hold dear. Already have these towers of theirs been the cause of untold suffering. Countless innocents kidnapped and imprisoned, their faith perverted for primal summonings. And unless we find a way to deal with the corruptive aura surrounding the spires, we can't even get close enough to rescue anyone. Those shielded with the blessing of light seem able to resist being tempered, at least. But after what happened to Arenvald and Fordola, we need to be very, very careful about how we proceed. Hey, Jolt. How are you doing? Yet while these threats close to home are of paramount concern, we mustn't lose sight of the situation in Garlemald. As you know, the Telophoroi are under the leadership of Fandaniel and one other delightful fellow, Xenos Yai Galvas, the Crown Prince and our dear friend. To date, he's reclaimed his old body, murdered Emperor Varys, and plunged Garlemald into an even deeper pit of chaos. The capital has probably seen the worst of it. For a good while there, it saw the bloodiest fighting in the War of Secession, but that has since changed, and in troubling ways. Aye, during our reconnaissance, the air was not once rent by the barking of cannons or the cries of discord. 'Twas an airy fog of silence which did blanket that ruined city. The inhabitants appeared to have been tempered, and with nary a word spoken did they labor to transform the palace into a soaring edifice born of nightmares. If they were indeed made thralls, it seems safe to assume that these events, too, were orchestrated by the Telophoroi. An army of primals is awful enough, but in light of recent developments, I fear it is only the prelude to an even greater catastrophe. We need to devise a means to counter this threat, and quickly, before our allies are overwhelmed. We will find a way in Charlian, I am sure of it. Master Fortuno's comments regarding the final days were curious to say the least. The Forum knows more than it is letting on. Sorry to interrupt. We've just received word from Mistress Kryl. She says that arrangements for your visit has been finalized. You're to head to Limsa and board the next ship bound for Charlian. And on arrival, Present yourselves as associates of the students of Baldessian. God, I can't talk. Come to assist with the Order's restoration. The arrangements may be settled, but what of your thoughts? They must race at the prospect of returning home after so long. I am eager to see it, of course. Of course. We should set off at once. Then I'll accompany you to the docks. We need at least one person there to wave and cry and wish you a safe journey. We're not even messing around. We're heading right over to Charlian. Alright, speak with Totaro at Limsa. Oh, come on. Just let me go. Oh! Alright, yeah, there we go. Oh, we're here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got, you guys. Alright. This guy is showing off his stuffs. Whatever. I want to see interesting peoples, like this guy. He's wearing a dress. But I think it's just part of the outfits. Come on. Why are there no Santa Claus? Well, it's not Christmas. Why are there no interesting people out and about in Limsa today? Oh, these two are clearly doing some type of roleplay. Probably ERP. Hug. Alright, whatever. I do! I want to see craziness! I'm in Limsa! Why is there no craziness? Alright, let's talk to everybody. I never thought the day would come when I would be sailing home again. It always seemed so very far away. Sea travel can be tedious, but I don't mind it. 'Tis a rare experience for most Ishgardians. I shudder to think what matter of truth awaiteth us beyond the Indigo Deep. Still more do I dread the prospect of discussions long overdue. Contrary to what you might think, this will be like going home for me as well. I may have learned how to survive in Limsa, but it was in Charlian where I was taught, quite relentlessly I might add, the skills to properly live. I might have lived in Master Matoya's cave for a good part of my life, but even for me the thought of returning to Charlian is quite exciting. I can hardly imagine how it is for the others who lived most of their lives there. Though a part of me looks forward to returning home, I've not forgotten that my father stripped us of the privileges of our family name. I hope it doesn't cause trouble with the officials upon our arrival. What a grim reason to bring you to Charlian. Not much to be done about it, I suppose, but I would have liked to give you the grand tour under happier circumstances. Oh well. Everyone's here, which is good, because I've already paid for your passage, and the fee is non-refundable. The ship for Charlian should be pulling into port soon, so please follow and have all your luggage close at hand.
They've almost finished loading our cargo. We should be ready to depart right on schedule. Or so I'm told.
Excellent. 'Tis nice to have a smooth beginning to one's journey, at the very least.
It's funny. Master Louis Soir came here on a ship very much like this one. And now, years later, the street urchin he befriended that day is bound for his mentor's homeland. With his mentor's grandchildren, no less.
Aye. 'Tis upon reflection that every twist of time's river and fate's whims are brought into sharp relief. Thou hast matured much in the intervening years. Wert thou not caught attempting to relieve Master Louisois of his purse scant moments after he made landfall upon this dock?
Probably.
Oh, really? Now that's a tale I'd like to hear.
Will this be your first visit to Charlian, Sir Estinian? Sir Estinian?
Are we strangers newly met? Why this stiff formality?
I, merely meant it as a professional courtesy, since we are now colleagues in an official sense.
I'd rather you dispense with the sirs, especially in private company. Or I'll be forced to respond in kind, little Lord Alphino.
You've made your point, Estinian. Painfully well.
Better.
Aww.
Are you all right, Tataru? You seem positively distraught.
Distraught? Me? Don't be silly. I think it's lovely that they get to see their homeland. It's just... we're trying to thwart the schemes of an army hell-bent on destroying the world. And, once again, I have to stay behind and worry that this is the last time I'll get to see my friends.
Well, I'll bring them back safe and sound. I promise.
I'll hold you to that.
Ah, good. You're still here.
Oh, Hori Boulder. And Coltonay.
Hori! Coltonay! What brings you all this way?
We're to assist the Maelstrom and the Kobolds with a lunar primal operation, so we thought we'd see you off before heading to the tower. Flamine and the others wish you all a safe journey, and promise that they'll look after things here until you return. We will too, of course. Aye, we your fellow Scions of the Seventh Dawn will do our part to ensure the end of the world won't happen on our watch.
We set the sail! All aboard for Charlian!
It's time.
Then we must delay no longer. We will contact you the moment we learn aught of value. Wish us luck.
Have a safe journey! And please, please, be careful.
It'll be fine, Tataru. We're just going to Charlian. We're just going to see the charlatans. Stop rubbing off on me, baby time.
And so you venture forth unto the unknown. A fate beyond the horizon that cannot be divined. A future undefined and in flux.
Voice sounds very familiar.
In uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice.
Yes, very, very familiar.
That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end. Treasure every moment, every step of your descent. And there, in the depths where souls and stars rest, find your truth.
It sounds very ominous.
Here. Feel. Think.
The day has barely dawned, my fellow earlier riser. Though we're hardly alone in that. Envious of those still sleeping soundly, no doubt. Called out to you, you say? I've heard nothing myself. In any case, I dare say the sea air will do you good. Why not join the others on deck? Charlian should be coming into view at any moment.
How do you sleep like that? I couldn't sleep that way. Alright, well. I know. Who's that? I know who it is, but you probably do too.
My voice yet reaches you. I am glad. Hear, feel, think. And thus do we meet face to face at last. My warrior of light, guided by the crystal.
I don't know what to say. Can I not trust her anymore? No, it's Heidelin. Alright, I'm just gonna go. Why now, Heidelin?
After your sojourn in the First, I believe you have your answer. You have gained an understanding of what I truly am. what Eidolon has always been, a primal. Zodiac was created to forestall the apocalypse which threatened the ancient world, and I was brought forth to bind him. Yet 7 times now, those who would orchestrate a return to that bygone era have rejoined a shard to the god I had sundered. The greater his strength grows, the swifter does mine own diminish. The power to draw your mind into the rift betwixt is no longer mine to wield. Yet though it taxes me sorely, I dare not leave these words unsaid. Even bereft of my guidance, you and your companions have accepted the burden of this star's troubled past. A conjunction has begun to form, an intertwining of your time and mine. Wheels shudder and turn. Conflict looms, monumental, which will decide the fate of this world and all life upon it. When you truly understand what is at stake, and your journey has prepared you to surmount the insurmountable, then shall I honor the promise made in another time, another age.
I don't understand.
Cast your peepers to the fore, folks. Sharlayan's just over yonder.
I will not keep you further. Your traveler's heart must yearn to behold this unfamiliar land. We shall meet again, and soon.
Whew. Okay. Well. That happened.
Oh, what a fine morning. Oh, still a bit stiff though.
And a good morning to you too. Taking a look at the island already?
Then let's go. Let's go. Might still be room in the prow if we're lucky.
Ah, the sleepers have arisen. There she is. Good old Sharlayan.
Oh, I see it.
And we will be spending time there.
Home. Home at last. Well, maybe not in Father's eyes, but we'll manage on our own, if we must.
You do know you're not alone in this, don't you?
Indeed. 'Tis as Sir Estinian saith. Forget not the comrades who boarded this ship at your side, I prithee.
Thank you, my friends. We are ever grateful for your steadfast support.
Upon arrival, we will be disembarking into the heart of Sharlayan proper. There is no greater concentration of wisdom in all the world. I am confident that somewhere within that center of knowledge and learning, we will find the answers we seek.
And here we go. I can't believe it's half hour and we're still on the first quest. And title. That was all a prologue, basically. Basically.
Sharlayan, the solitary island nation of the northern seas. Where under the watchful gaze of Thaliak, patron deity of scholars, academics hoard all manner of knowledge and secrets. Once, they deigned to accept foreign students into a distant colony maintained in the Dravanian hinterlands. How swiftly they abandoned it once the first Garlean boot set hostile foot on Ala Megan soil. So averse to the prosecution of war, these men of wisdom, your would-be allies.
Yes. We'll be spending some time here. Don't you worry.
I thought they'd never let us off the ship. What's next then? Entry applications?
Hopefully they find no cause to deny us.
Hasn't Sharlayan all but severed relations with foreign powers? Those of us without direct ties, myself included, may be refused outright.
'Tis true that, as a nation, Sharlayan only forms trade agreements with a select few neutral countries. But from a practical standpoint, an island cannot afford to be overly strict with its borders. Especially not if that island's people are wholly devoted to the accumulation of knowledge.
Oh yes, papers,
If one
please.
submits the proper paperwork, with satisfactory evidence of identity and intent, then foreigners may be granted entry.
May.
Oh boy. Poor Stinian, I hope he doesn't have any problems with this.
Quite. So let us be absolutely clear on these points before we proceed. The immigration officer will ask for your affiliation and your purpose of visit. Considering Sharlayan's views on intervention, I strongly suggest we avoid any mention of the Scions. Kral has laid the groundwork for us to act as associates of the students of Baldessian, and our ostensible reason for being here is to aid in their order's restoration.
I hope not.
Grahatir, it might expedite our progress should an actual student be seen at the head of our little group. Would you mind leading the way?
Of course. The immigration offices were this way, as I recall. Shall we? Greetings. We've just arrived and are eager to make our way into the city. Would you be so kind as to process our entry application?
Yeah, they're all wearing their weapons out, too.
Certainly. I see by your mark you are an Archon.
I am. Grahat here of the Students of Baldessian at your service. I was assigned to an Eorzean survey team, but have returned to assist with the reformation of my order. My associates here will provide additional support.
Uh-oh. Scowl.
Very good. I have paperwork detailing your group and its scheduled arrival for today. And it seems some few of your companions are also Archons. If you'll step forward, we can process those applications first.
Ishtola rule.
I hope I can get in there.
See how it glows? That list is etherically linked with a citizen registry kept in the main repository.
I've confirmed your status as Archons and amended your travel records accordingly. Welcome home.
Everything's magic here.
Now, who do we have here?
Alphino Leveilleur.
And Alize Leveilleur.
Your applications have also been approved. Having said that, the streets are abuzz with talk of how House Leveilleur's lord disowned his young progeny.
Uh-oh.
And while such personal circumstances constitute no reason to deny you entry, I urge you to avoid exacerbating your present situation. Times are quite troubled enough already.
We shall keep that in mind.
God, she's just so annoying.
These last two are not Sharlayan natives, but you will find their credentials are in order. An application was made in advance.
Name and occupation?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Rislin House, adventurer by trade, artisan, champion of... I don't know. I'm just gonna say artisan.
Indeed. Your profile describes you as an adventurer, but one also trained in the rather more constructive pursuits of procurement and production.
That was a good one.
You may enter.
No problem with that. I hope Estinian doesn't have problems, though.
And you, sir?
Estinian Valino, formerly of the Order of the Knights Dragoon in Ishgard.
Formally, at least. And what, pray tell, is your profession now?
Oh no. Oh shit. Yes, I slay dragons.
If you'll allow me... My associate is a mercenary, hired for his strength at arms. Surely you are aware of the dangers we often face on our forays into the wilderness.
Mistress Baldessian, if you insist on sponsoring his entry, then so be it. But while I appreciate that desperate times call for desperate measures, I find your choice of company concerning. Be advised that even a single misstep may have severe repercussions for your organization.
I have every confidence in my chosen company, dear and trusted comrades that they are. But I thank you for your concern.
Whew. Dodged a bullet.
Croyle! It is good to see you.
Likewise. Long voyage notwithstanding, you will seem none the worse for wear. There is much to discuss, but this is hardly the place. Let's be on our way, shall we? Oh! Welcome, friends, to Sharlayan.
As your mercenary, I should hope my welcome includes a generous salary.
Really?
Well, I had to say something, Sir Taciturn.
Generous salary. Just you wait until you realize Estinian and money. Alright, I gotta go to the bathroom, but yeah, Estinian has some problems with money. And it's hilarious. Got the dishwasher started. Used my nice new bathroom with my nice new toilet, which was way more expensive than I wanted it to be, but whatever. We needed it anyways. Alright, let's talk to everybody here. I am unaccustomed to fabricating lies on demand. Why should it matter how I earn my living? Here we are at last, the great city of Charlian. You may have noticed some similarities with the Crystarian, yes? In fact, Oh, but we really should let Kryl have her say first. We can continue this conversation at another time. You are doubtless eager to take in the sights. Not to worry, Rislin. The city is not like to vanish before we finish our discussion. Even allowing that the years I spent in the first passed here in the blink of an eye, the city feels untouched by time. Allow me to extend unto thee my warmest welcome, Rislin. May the wisdom of my homeland aid us in our endeavors. That was about as awkward as expected. Still, we're here now, and that's all that matters. I'm fine, honestly. Better to be waved through with a stern warning than be denied entry after all. I'm glad I spotted your ship coming into port. The officers are born bureaucrats and sticklers for detail. In any case, you may relax and take a moment to get your land legs back. I had thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. But this is Rislin and Estinian's first time in Charlian, and for the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. You must have places you wish to visit, and people you're dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so that you all may have a sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. Yes, it's going to be lots of new music. Once you've settled in, we can reconvene at the Baldessian Annex. How does that sound? It is a fine suggestion. You may not be welcome at the Leveilleur estate as such, but I should like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. I am equally untethered, as it were. There is no particular place that my kin call home. Still, I would not pass up the opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city. Likewise, a quick tour of our old haunts might even yield some useful gossip. The annex was west of the Aetheryte Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there anon. Yes, we'll see you there. I, too, have places I would be remiss in not visiting forthwith. By thy leave. What of you, Estinian? My services as a guide are yours for the asking. That won't be necessary. Until we reconvene, I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. But I could... Oh... Well, Raha, would you like to join us then? You've been gone for quite a while, and this would be the perfect way to refresh those dusty old memories of yours. Oh, of course, if you will have me. Come, Rislin, Charlian awaits. Yes, they've been here before. Okay, Charlian is they're archons, and they a lot of them have studied in Sharlayan. Well, Alphino and Alisaie were born here, as you already know, because their parents are here, and they went to the studium. They studied here. I believe Thancred was brought here by Louisoix. And then Graha, he was from Sharlayan too. He studied here. And Kryle studied here. They're almost all of them are from Sharlayan. Or have from Sharlayan or have been here and studied here, so. Alright. Oh dear. His enthusiasm is infectious, isn't it? After you, my friend. I am more than content to follow your lead. Graha is now accompanying you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. In the event you use the Ethernet at Graha Tier, will catch up to you so long as you remain in the same area. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is the new thing they've added in this expansion, is where you basically, some of the characters in quests, they'll follow you around, you know, accompany you, so. All set? Then let us be on our way. Our first stop, amusingly enough, will be the Last Stand. It's a cafe on the west side of the harbor. Ryle is now accompanying you. Okay, so we're... Yeah. We know this. Okay, I know this. Alright, so actually we can get to certain spots. They'll talk. They have things that they'll talk about. Discuss the storage facility. Alright, with all the unusual wares coming and going at all hours, I expect the assistance of an intrepid adventurer would be highly appreciated. I see no reason why you couldn't undertake any tasks which pique your interest. You have been cleared by the immigration officials after all. I look forward to the day your name is celebrated in Sharlayan the same way it is in Eorzea. Okay. This place is called the Peristyle, and it is the first stop for cargo unloaded at the docks. You'll find the usual necessities for daily living and other imports vital to running an island nation, but also supplies that further Sharlayan's pursuit of knowledge, namely large quantities of books, specimens, and samples. Sorting these stacks certainly seems to keep the attendants busy. Alright. Well, where are we supposed to go? Oh, we gotta go over here first. We'll stop here and talk. Now that is a sight one could hardly forget. The great statue of Thaliak. As a student of Baldician, I was usually quartered on the Isle of Val, but I would gaze upon the scholar's wise features every time I returned by ship to the city. This path leading out towards the sea is known as the Thaliak Stoa, so named for the statue of the scholar which stands at its end. As you know, the Sharlayan people prize the accumulation of wisdom above all else. Thus, when Thaliak was chosen as our patron deity, it was more a matter of pragmatism than belief, an alignment of principles, as it were. We may have honored him with a rather impressive sculpture, yes, but our faith is not so restrictive as that of, say, the Ishgardians. Individual Sharlayans can and do worship the divinities of their choosing. And here we are, the Last Stand. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research into nutrition and food preparation is quite extensive, the average Sharlayan tends to regard seasoning and flavor with a certain indifference. Oh yes, remember Archon Loaf? How can I put this? The food is, it's bland. As encapsulated by our infamous Archon Loaf, the prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first, and taste a distant second. There was one pupil at the studium, however, who could stomach the school's insipid meals no longer, so he quit his lessons and poured all his savings into building a proper eatery. And so the Last Stand came to be. It is, as the name implies, the sole dedicated outpost of fine dining in Sharlayan. The one and only bastion of the culinary arts in an isle of otherwise mediocre fare. I seem to recall their burger being hailed as one of the more impressive items on the menu. Not that I ever had the pleasure of eating one myself. Because you were a typical Charlian when it came to cheap and convenient, Raha. But surely Totaro has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. We shall stop in when time permits and sample the cafe's delights. Shall we press on? The stairs to the side of the cafe there will take us up to the Aetheryte Plaza. Eat here every day! We'll be coming back to here, don't you worry. It'll happen. Actually, yeah, we actually come back here in some of the quests. So this is just showing us around the city, as we do in all, like, we get to the new area in all the expansions. The Aetheryte looks different from how I remember it. An unusual shape, isn't it? It is kind of unusual, isn't it? I assure you, however, that it's perfectly functional, Aetheryte. Remember to attune yourself before we move on. Now, being the diligent tour guide that I am, I should make mention of the Confluence, a research facility located on this very plaza. Its much vaunted discoveries are the reason Charlian stands at the forefront of teleportation technology. In deciphering the underlying principles of Allegan Aetherites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct what was essentially a lost art. And off we go to our next destination. Our path leads northeast to the Agora, Charlian's largest marketplace. Oh, another place to stop and talk. Speaking of Aetherites, those teleportation fees do add up after a while, which is why I tended to rely on the far cheaper ferry services. I was pleasantly surprised when Mistress Tataru informed me that the Scions are reimbursed for transportation costs as part of our duties. But I find old habits hard to break. That, and I'd rather not be bothered filling out the necessary paperwork. Alright. That's the Confluence. That's the entrance to the Confluence. I have no doubt their expertise will prove useful at some point, so I should suggest you remember the way here. I don't know if I've ever been in there. Do you mind if I browse the shelves for a moment? There might be some hidden gems I've yet to read. Only a moment. How optimistic. Feel free to browse all you like, but we won't wait around for you. Perhaps I'll return here later then. These little open-air bookstalls are so uniquely Charlian. I'd always thought them a common sight until I visited other nations. It's kind of cute, actually. Can I get one for my house? Kind of like this bookstall. Alright. Welcome to the Agora, where you can find wares made in Charlian, as well as a wide selection of imported goods. They also used to sell questionable prototypes from the various research institutes, but I think that practice has thankfully died out, for the most part. Otherwise, I can think of no better place to stock up for your next big adventure. Am I overselling it? On a more serious note, the next stop on our tour is one which has particular relevance to our ultimate purpose here. We must head back to the Aetherite Plaza, follow the path north, then climb the stairs up to that imposing building at the very top. I wonder what that imposing building is. Nymphium. Is it Nymphium? I guess. I don't know. Oh yeah, my in-game house, not my real house. I have no room in my real house. These little decorative features are typical of Charlian architecture. Aside from the research wing, our headquarters on the Isle of Val were rather simple and rustic by comparison. This is the Nymphium, an area dedicated to the blessings of water. For Charlians, water represents more than a life-sustaining liquid. It is a reminder of the great flood which precipitated the birth of our nation, as well as a symbol of the knowledge which flows from Thaliak's divine ewer. This is the reason you see an abundance of fountains throughout the city, and a propensity for utilizing water as a decorative feature in our architecture. Nymphium. Whatever. Nymphium. It's all Greek to me, okay? It's all Greek to me. This grand structure before you is the Rostra. The name refers to the original public platform erected here, upon which a forum of elected representatives would deliver orations and debate policy. Although the stage has since evolved into council chambers, the nature of the forum and the duties of its members remain largely unchanged. Am I boring you, Raha? You seem awfully distracted. Oh, my apologies. From here, one can see the entire city spread out below. The vista put me in mind of my arrival on the first. Those who had gathered at the Crystal Tower asked me how they might go about building a new home. Naturally, my answers were all inspired by my knowledge of the finest settlement I can think of, the great city of Charlotte. And bit by bit, those few buildings grew into a town, a community, the Crystarium. I can almost see its echo. I see. Feel free to come up here whenever you wish. I don't think the counselors would object to you simply enjoying the view. Such memories should be treasured. For now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes with the fittingly named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. This is a rather pretty sight, huh? Especially at night. The stars in the sky. We've arrived at Journey's End. History tells us that this was where those who put ashore with Archon Nunkrempf built their first homes. In the present day, it serves as the residential district for the most important officials and the oldest Charlian families. You'll see that one mansion is clearly larger than its neighbors. That estate belongs to our friends from House Leveilleur. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance for the time being. And with that, we bring our little Charlian tour to a close. I hope it has proven to be an entertaining and enlightening experience. Now, shall we head directly to the Baldessian Annex? You remember the way, don't you, Raha? Let me think. We head down towards the harbor, cross the bridge to our right, then follow the path below the Etherite Plaza. Correct. After you, Riston. Well, we're going to take a shortcut. As the joyous look on Raha's face has undoubtedly informed you, this is the Baldessian Annex. If you continue up the hill, you'll arrive on the doorstep of Phenomenon. But I think we've explored enough for one day. We can take you there another time. Inside with you then. I'm back, and I've brought Rislin and Raha with me. Ah, you were right about the ship then. Hello, Graha. It's nice to see you again. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Rislin. I've heard many a tale of your exploits. Ojika? Ojika Tsunjika? Oh, whatever. I couldn't read that fast enough. I gotta stop this. Allow me to introduce Ojika Tsunjika, Administration Officer for the students of Valdesian. He oversees the day-to-day business of the Annex. You may recall meeting his cousin, Ejika. Oh, yes, Eureka. I've read the initial reports. Quite a shock to hear what's become of the Isle. Do take care if you have the opportunity to rejoin the expedition. This place is like a second home for the students. The Isle of Val served as our main headquarters, of course, but we often had occasion to visit Charlian, whether to make use of the city's research facilities, attend conferences, or procure supplies from distant shores. And the annex here was built to provide lodgings for our members while we engaged in such activities. Ever since our former headquarters, along with the Isle itself, vanished, the annex has served as our base of operations. And yet I feel so empty. With so many lost to us, our organization is a shell of its former self. The day will come when we will see the students rise again. But first, we must ensure that the Telophoroi fall. Through that door on the left there is the main hall. Or through that door on the left is the main hall, where we can discuss our options moving forward. Once everyone arrives, that is, you probably have time to rest before our discussions begin in earnest. I've had private quarters prepared for you in the Andron, so please, feel free to make yourself at home. Ah, the nap rooms. Perfect for an afternoon dose. Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. The chambers are quite well appointed. Far more so than some cheap roadside inn, you may be assured. It was simply that we were often so busy with research or exhausted from journeys abroad that we would slip into the Andron just to steal a few winks. And thus they became known amongst the students as nap rooms, even if such naps might last well into the following morning. Say the word, and I'll be happy to show you to your chamber. Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you all in the main hall. Might as well get this party started. Feeling refreshed and alert? Our colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us.
Pray forgive me. I was delayed.
It's fine, Oriange. We're all here now.
Let's get down to business then, shall we? Come what may, we must prevent the Telophoroi's plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see two paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal. The first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Charlian, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Forum. As most of you know, the 99 members of the Forum are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Charlian focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it. And at the other extreme, we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galef was one such member, as was Archon Louisois. Yet despite our diverse factions and philosophies, the recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous. Even more concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
Fortuno's refusal in Gridania had those same undertones. 'Twas as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, he had simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
A mystery indeed, and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it. As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Baldessian. Our organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over. Mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth. Compared to our more isolationist Sharlayan colleagues, we have strong connections overseas, namely with scholars and academics who share our passion for the unknown. The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nadana, an alchemist residing in distant Thavnair. Her missive describes the sudden appearance of a tower, and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal.
Uh-oh.
In response to this threat, the satrap of Radzat-Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
The artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition, one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts. It is possible, nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or her Far Eastern allies.
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
Assuming we divide our forces to pursue both of Kral's lines of inquiry, and having you join the group heading to Thavnair would seem the obvious choice. But the investigation in Sharlayan is of vital importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnairian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
Yes, it is quite the quandary.
Oh boy, we got a decision to make.
Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts.
Oh, for fuck's sake, fine.
You are indeed our champion. As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us next decide how everyone else might best be assigned. As for myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Sharlayan. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
They need to at this point.
And thereby gain access to a greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Allow me to offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field of research.
Alice and I would also like to help, if you would have us.
Oops, sorry. I'm cutting my nails again.
To understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking.
They're
Of course, the
bugging me.
more the merrier.
Right. The rest of us will make the journey to Thavnair.
I know, I'm done. A couple more
Thoughts?
bugging
Objections?
I passed through Thavnair on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nadana's request. Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
Alright, so, oh my god, I'm so tired. I almost might make myself another cup of coffee. I'm just so tired. The bibliotheque's bibliobutts? I don't know. Alright, so here's the question. Do we want to go hang out in Charlian and figure out this stuff first? Or do we want to go to Tavnir? Which is another island. I mean, we're going to have to do both eventually, but we can decide which one to do first. The reason why they do it this way, and they did that way in Shadowbringers too, is to, when the expansion releases and everybody heads out to quest at the same time, it splits the population up a little bit so that there's not a lot of strain and lag on the server. You want to go to the other island? Okay, we'll go to the other island. We're going to do them all eventually anyways, but alright. Let me just talk to these people first. I still don't understand how the vote could be unanimous. What could possibly convince them all to turn their backs on Eorzea? If the Forum is intent on concealing its intentions, then a cursory investigation will avail us a little, I suspect. We will need to dig deeper, and with the greatest of care. Our tour of the city was a pleasant distraction. I feel more than ready now to tackle the challenges of the day. Though I have read much on the subject of Razat Han, this visit shall be my first. 'Twill be interesting to see how the Hanish mean to contend with the tower, different as their magical and technological disciplines are. So it's back to Tavnir. Had I known earlier, I would have considered more suitable attire. I have Kryle's instructions in hand. If you are ready to set out, then so are we. Having been to Tavnir before, I can travel by Aetheryte. But what of the rest of you? Another sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Kryle was of the same mind, and has already secured the aid of the good folk of the Confluence. We'll take ourselves there. Confluence, thou sayest. I'm afraid so, my friend. What? Thou wilt recall the hunt for Iceheart, unto whose sanctuary we delivered the owing to the knowledge of our comrade, Moonbrita. Moonbrita was an authority on etherology, a field of study she did embark upon in pursuit of her parents' example. Both are authorities in their own right, and both are researchers at the Confluence. Haven't you gone to see them yet? I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame my courage failed me at the time, as it hath the many times I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. Neither time nor introspection have revealed unto me the words I should speak, and thus have I kept my silence. Oh, Rianji, no, come on! Whether you come with us or no is your choice, and yours alone. If it is too difficult, we'll manage. Thou art kind to say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. I shall go to the Confluence, and I shall face that which hath long been overdue. If it's settled, then let us be off. When we arrive, we should look for a researcher named Keat. Or Kit. I don't know. I don't know how to say that name. I'm just gonna butcher him. Just butcher him, except for, like, Moonbrita. I know how to say Moonbrita. It's not Moonbrita, though. Oh, that for sure. Alright. I know. I'm still sad about Moonbrita. And fortunately, they haven't forgotten about her. Thankfully. They killed her off so quick, but at least they reference her. She hasn't been forgotten. What? Uh-oh. I think I went the wrong way. Crap. I went the wrong way. Wait, it's snowing. It's snowing. I didn't think it was that cold over here. No! Not Orshfan. Oh, Orshfan. Makes me sad. Well, now, this is rather a lot of stern faces. Are my library books overdue again? Not to our knowledge. We're associates of Kryl of the students of Baldessian. We seek passage to Tavnir and understand that you can assist us. Ah, the test subjects. Welcome, welcome. Test subjects? Oh, you hadn't heard? Well, then allow me to explain. So, in order to travel to an aetheryte, you ordinarily need to be attuned to it beforehand. Otherwise, you can't use it as a beacon to seek out while you're a mess of ether hurling along the life stream. An inconvenient but incontrovertible limitation of aetheryte teleportation. But what if I were to tell you that there's a way to travel to an aetheryte without being attuned to it? A way to teleport instantly to places you've never been. For long years, we've labored to make such travel possible, that people might move about more freely. And we've finally done it! We've created a new kind of aetheryte that doesn't require attunement. Truly? That changes everything. Well, my language may have been a bit misleading. The user need not attune to these aetherites, but the aetherites themselves must be pre-attuned to each other, thereby facilitating travel between the 2 points. But it just so happens that our first test pair of aetherites, one has been installed here in Charlian, and the other in Yedlamad, a port town in Tavnir. As you may know, our nation has long maintained strong ties with Razat Han, and indeed we owe much of this breakthrough to the contributions of their alchemists. So to sum up, we're to test these aetherites. How fortuitous for you. I should mention that an accident has impaired my ability to channel ether. Will this be a problem? Oh, not at all! As a matter of fact, you might say these aetherites were made for people like your good self. The magics imbued within will whisk you away without any effort on your part. A veritable dream come true, and far be it from me to worry about such things. But do we have permission to make use of your shiny new invention? The only permission required is yours, so assuming you're willing, we're all set. It may come as a surprise, but we actually struggle to find test subjects. Most people seem to have an unreasonable fear of their souls gradually disintegrating as they drift helplessly in the life stream. In the statistically unlikely event that something goes awry. But it's plain that you aren't most people. Mistress Kryl truly knows how to pick 'em. I don't know if I like this. If I might change the subject, are Master Wilson and Mistress Bluewita not present today? Oh, you didn't hear? They've recently resigned their posts. Their expertise was needed elsewhere. A large-scale project helmed by the Forum itself, as I understand, but I'm not privy to the details. I see. Any other questions? No? Then let's get going before you change your minds. Please see to your preparations and head outside to the Aetheryte Plaza. I'll be along shortly. What happened to Ishtola twice? Oh, being in the live stream, getting lost in the live stream? Yeah, it has happened twice. In case you were wondering, the Aetheryte still functions like a normal one. It's just been upgraded to allow unattuned travel. I'll see you there shortly. The words unsaid yet weigh heavy on my heart. I shall devote mine all to our task in Tavnir. Given my experience with teleportation, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have reservations. But I will trust in Kryl. I shall teleport the tried and trusted way. Good luck. Oh, great! So he's just gonna go right over there. Oh, fine, Estinian, fine. He's just gonna frickin' leave us.
Right, we're all set. Just the four of you, was it?
3. I'm already attuned to the crystal in Thavnir.
You are? Oh. I would have preferred more test subjects.
So disappointed.
Oh, well, never mind. If our 3 travelers could line up here, please.
I don't like this. She's running away from it.
Yes, right there is fine. Take a deep breath, and I'll soon have you soaring through the ether. Oh, and one last thing. You might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck!
What? You're telling this to me now? Oh no. No, no.
Thavnir, home to city-state Rads at Han. Rising from the southeast waters of the Bounty, this Isle of Plenty served as the battleground for a conflict between 2 peoples. Their cultures bled into one another until a unique amalgamation was distilled from the chaos, in a process not unlike their precious alchemy. Once solidified as a single nation, an adamant stance of neutrality would hold invaders at bay. For a time. Now across this vibrant isle creeps a fog of malice. What choice do you have?
Oh no.
What chance?
Yes, it's very much inspired by Indian culture.
Against such an insidious foe.
Oof. Oof. Just sudden he's sitting here. They're all just like super hungover. Oh.
I've seen fairer faces after a bout of bad shellfish. Let me bring you something to drink. That should help settle your bellies.
I don't know if I want to have anything in my stomach. Maybe.
There was a note with Kryle's instructions.
Would have taken a lot longer, though.
Don't let a Stinian roam the markets alone. He's alarmingly bad with coin.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Crap. Looks like I gotta go and stop a Stinian from blowing all our coin. You managed to will yourself to your feet, but given your condition, will you be able to reach a Stinian in time? Uh-oh. Where is he? Oh, he's around here somewhere. Oh! Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Oh, there he is. Over at the junk monger. You there. I need 3 drinks. Something that helps with ether sickness. By the Manusia! A traveler! I mean, greetings! Greetings and welcome! You are wise, good sir, to come to me. My special Amra and Lassie, made with only the finest and freshest ingredients, is famed for calming unruly bellies. By way of a warm welcome to Thavnir, I am pleased to offer it to you for the low price of 19,800 gil. For not 1, not 2, but 3 bottles. A bargain among bargains. The price is high road robbery, and you would say as much to Estinian, but you realize any words of warning you cry out would be accompanied by your last meal. You must stand before Estinian and, using gestures, deny that the deal is fair. God. I thought you could barely stand. What do you need to tell me that it's so urgent? Wait, I shouldn't buy the lassie? This merchant is swindling me. Ah! Sincerest apology, sir, but I appear to have my prices confused. It's actually 1,890 gil for the 3 bottles of lassie. That confusion would have been quite costly for both of us. Very well, then, your coin. Here, a bottle for each of you. Take them to the others and get some rest. I'll be back after I've explored the town. Oh, oof. This sucks. A teensy weensy touch, she says. Not even my hardest night's drinking comes close. Arianje's just not even talking. And he talks! How could... I've never seen Arianje not wanting to talk. Praise be to the 12. My stomach doth loosen in its death's grip. My heartfelt thanks to thee, Inistinian, and to the fine fruits of this land. You were in time? Excellent. You've spared us Tataru's wrath. Sweet, sweet release. If you haven't already, you should have yours too. Right, I'm ready to get on with it. That lassie truly worked wonders. Back on your feet, I see. Thy hair! Aye, I've bound it. 'Tis the most I could do against this heat short of shedding my armor. May I ask where you got the cord for it? A local vendor. The man said it's a Thavnarian weave, tough and not easily unraveled. And how much did it cost? 9,400 gil. A steal, I was told. 'Tis nothing fancy, but I've always valued function over form. That's incredible. I dare say not even Alphino could hold a candle to you. Well, it's not uncommon for merchants to set their prices high, but doesn't it seem excessive here? I expected the Azure Dragoon to put up more of a fight. Oh god, no, this is fun. It's fine. I am inclined to agree with thine assessment. It doth seem excessive, unusually so. Claiming Thavnir as its dominion, the nation of Radzat Han hath long thrived as a hub of commerce. In the beginning, there were the Arcasadora, a Matanga tribe indigenous to this island. Over time, they came to be joined by other races, and through their intermingling, a culture rich and distinct did emerge. From alchemy to textiles, the products of Hanish culture have come to be celebrated and coveted the world over, a development only aided by the nation's prime location as a waypoint betwixt east and west. All of this hath combined to make a trading power of Radzat Han, yet such a status cannot be taken for granted. Nay, it must needs be maintained through judicious governance and stringent regulation. Neither of which I see in any evidence, given that merchants at a gateway town are free to fleece hapless travelers and tarnish the reputation of the nation at large. Just so, that opportunistic pricing is rampant, doth suggest that oversight is much weakened, or mayhap that the people have fallen upon hard times. Whatever the truth may be, it would be prudent to ascertain the current state of affairs. Prudent and practical, aye. We've naught to lose by learning more. So, ere we seek out Kryle's acquaintance, shall we see what information we can gather here at Yedlimad? Excellent. We didn't exactly get off to a flying start, but we'll make up for it. Alright, we gotta see what the heck's going on. I mean, I know Estinian's bad with this coin, but this is ridiculous. Be thou assured that I am quite recovered. Lassie is truly a boon for unruly stomachs. It's truly so amusing to see my hair bound. 'Tis how I used to wear it. A functional fashion. Perhaps you were confused by how you found me following Nidog's demise. It had fallen loose after the chirurgeons removed me from my armor and put me to bed. I simply decided to leave it that way for a time, seeing as I would not don the Azure Dragoon's helm again. Right, let us split up and make inquiries in town. Rislin, the pier is yours. Once we have learned what we can, we regroup by the Aetheryte, off-putting though the mere sight of it may be. Alright, I have the pair. Where is the pier? Oh, down here. Oh, there's a crate of fruit. Let's see. The crate is laden with fruits, but they are on the verge of spoiling, as if they have been left for too long. For a port, there aren't a lot of ships. Gazing out from the pier, you spy boats moored off nearby isles, with the silhouettes of larger seafaring vessels farther away. Compared to other ports we have visited in the past, there appears to be very little activity. What am I doing? Oh, recording my sales. Still do it daily out of habit. I don't know why I bother. Hardly sell anything these days. Business has never been this terrible. But I suppose things could be worse. I could have a consortium to keep afloat, like Kazal. Or is it Kazal? I think it's Kazal. I don't envy his position. Better to be alone with my little operation, I've come to realize. You're a traveler by the looks of it. If you have a moment, perhaps you could pay Kazal a visit. He'd be glad for tidings from abroad. Like as not, you'll find him at the Saltwind Sails, the Harbor Guild building across the water from here. What am I missing? I don't see any other sparkly... Oh, here. This guy. Well now, if it isn't a traveler. You're a rare sight in these unsettled times. People have been giving us a wide berth since that accursed tower suddenly appeared in Nurnair. If it just stood there and loomed ominously, perhaps things would be fine after a fashion. But no, it had to spawn fell fiends as well. We still have our lives thanks to the Radiant Host, but business is as good as dead. What'll become of us, only the gods know. Ah, so it's the tower's problem. Maskins aren't coming? But we already have everything they ordered. What are we supposed to do with it? I don't know, but yelling at me isn't going to help. All I know is that their plans have changed, and that's that. Look, you must have known this might happen. The Empire is at war with itself, and the provinces are in chaos. And then there's this tower sitting on our doorstep spitting out monstrosities. The city has its defenses, but we've been afforded no protection out here. We can't blame foreigners for not wanting to take the risk. Gah! But this will be an enormous loss. All right. Forget about the Dalmaskins. Surely some ships are still coming. We have fresh produce, handicrafts, medicines, all the perennial Hannish favorites. Our consortium works closely with merchants and artisans to supply only the finest wares. Quality is guaranteed. I know all these things, Kazal. I do. Which is why I regret to say I have nothing for you. All voyages have been cancelled or indefinitely postponed. And you are? Wait, you're a foreigner, aren't you? A merchant? Please tell me you're a merchant. I see. That's a shame. I'm sorry, but we're discussing important matters. If you need something, please talk to that one of the others. Excuse me? My name is Matsuya, and I'm here to see Kazal. Oh, it seems he's busy. I'll come back later then. Who's the elephant man? Yes, it's an elephant! Where did he go? Yes, can I help you? Ah, I remember seeing you back in the guild. You wanted to speak with Kazal too, did you? I'm Metsia, a fisherman of Yakyali, a nearby village. I sell my catch to Kazal, who offers it to foreign merchants, but he hasn't brought anything for a while now. When I heard that the consortium had been struggling, I became worried and decided to come and see him. Just as soon as he's free anyway. He's a hard-working man, and I dare not disturb him. No, it's not Horshafan's cousin, okay? No, it's not. If I may ask, what is it that you do? An adventurer, you say? And you travel the world helping people? Then that must mean you're great at dealing with strangers. Please, won't you teach me to be like you? You see, I've brought some fresh fish with me, the portion I couldn't preserve, and I want to sell them. The problem is I'm terrible with people. I've ever only dealt with Kazal, and I can't talk to customers without getting my trunk in a twist. So please, as silly as it may sound, will you not peddle the fish in my stead? Show me how it's done. If you're willing, please let me know and we can begin at once. Alright, I'm turned into a fish peddler. The events shall follow. Oh, I can't be skipped. Alright, come on, let's do it. You'll do it then? Show me how to deal with customers. I'm in your debt. Right, please try peddling my fish to, shall we say, 3 people here in Yedlimad. I will observe you and learn. Now he's accompanying me. Alright. Yes? I don't know which one. I know I screwed this up when I did it first. Fish, fish, I got fish here. Fresh fish, straight from the sea's bosom to your mouth, I guess. I'm sure your bosom fish are very fresh, but this is rather sudden. I don't need any fish right now, so thanks, but no thanks. You failed to make a sale. Damn it! Sorry, Metsia. Never mind. It never goes well with the first time. I'm sure you'll fare better with the next customer. I'm not great on the sell. I'm not great on the sell at all. But at least I don't spend money like a Stinian. A hawker, are you? Do you sell fruit by chance? If so, I want to buy some amra. Let's say a dozen. They don't need to be export quality. Amra shamra. Shmamra. My fresh fish is the only thing you need. What do you need so many amra for? God, I feel like neither of these are good options. Why, for eating, of course. It may seem like a lot, but of late, I go through that much in no time at all. I am a stock taker by trade, but with no vessels coming these days, the wares are beginning to pile up. By the same token, nothing is coming in from overseas, but not a day goes by that someone doesn't come asking when the next shipment is arriving for this and that and this and that. Oh, it wears me down, and I find myself feeling constantly hungry. Are you sure you're actually hungry? What are these options? I know how you feel. Thank you. I pity you don't sell fruit, but I enjoyed our little chat. It took my mind off my troubles for a moment. What? I don't think you're supposed to get any sales from these. Never mind. If nothing else, you left her with a positive impression. Let's move on to the north side of town, shall we? Alright. No! Well, maybe I am. I think I've been set up to fail. I'm pretty sure I've been set up to fail. What is going on with my camera? Oh, here's Ariane J. 'Tis a storehouse like any other at first glance, yet in contrast to its scale, there is this distinct lack of activity. Huh. What is it? If you don't mind, I'm rather busy. Oh, gods! My stomach! Ugh! Ether sickness? No, nothing so unusual. In my hurry to get back to work, I just ate a little too quickly. Some fresh fish will settle your stomach, and mine are the freshest of all. Let's try that one. Ugh! Food is the last thing I need right now. Go and sell your fish to someone else. I'm sorry, Matsuya. I'm sorry. Never mind. We just approached him at a bad time. And timing is everything, yes? Thank you so much for your demonstration. It was a truly eye-opening experience. Come, let us return to the pier. This isn't Harsh Elephant. This is Matsuya. He's adorable. Matsuya is adorable, I'm gonna tell ya. That's true. Thank you so much for showing me how to talk to customers. Though you didn't manage to sell any fish in the end, but the way you fearlessly approached strangers gave me much courage. When I peddle my wares, I'll remember your example and endeavor to be fearless too. Still, there's only so much I can do alone. I hope that things will return to normal for Kazal soon. I thought I heard a familiar voice. And who should it be but Matsuya? Oh, it's Kazal. Matsuya. Kazal! Have you finished your business at the guild? So you were there too. Forgive me. Try as I might, I can't find any buyers. With no ships coming in and hardly any going out, there simply aren't any options. At this rate. So, you can't buy my fish anymore? I'm sorry, Matsuya. I truly am. But for now, you must peddle your own goods. But by myself, I can't. I want to help you, I do. But as it stands, I can barely help myself. I poured my all into the consortium, and I'll be damned if I let it fall apart. I have friends and families depending on me, and I won't fail them. The sisters is my witness. Kazal. Not to worry. Using what I've learned from you, I'm sure I'll manage. Somehow. Well, I had best return to my village. My thanks again, and please take care on the road. Poor elephant. Poor Matsuya. Mayhap owing to the island's small size, the tower's impact upon the people's lives doth appear more pronounced here than in Eorzea. There you are. Gotten over the ether sickness, have you? I see you've been busy. Managed to learn a tidbit or two, I trust. I see. We also heard that the tower is affecting many locals' livelihoods, but to think that it would be to such an extent. For another notable, if not wholly unexpected, discovery, disappearances and kidnappings are disturbingly commonplace. As before, the culprits are almost certainly tempered Imperial soldiers. And as before, they mean to use the faith of their hapless thralls to call forth a lunar primal. Business as usual for the Telophoroi. Crap. We're gonna have to take them down. Why is it so sad already? Oh my god, V10, you don't even know. You don't even know. By the time this ends, you're gonna be in tears. I'm gonna be in tears. We're gonna be sobbing messes. We're gonna be ugly crying messes. Okay, I gotta go in and get another snack or something because I'm starving. So, I'm hungry. Let me find something else to snack on. No refund for you. No refund. Alright. Got myself a couple cookies here. Alright, let's continue. That Metsia fellow you were helping. He is Arcasadora, is he not? Apparently it is almost exclusively his people that are being kidnapped. Should he be traveling alone? If summoning is this perpetrator's aim, it doth stand to reason that Arcasadora would be their primary targets. For 'tis the faith of their ancestors which prevaileth in this land, and many are devout adherents still. We better go after him. Akyali lies to the west, as I recall, the same direction as Kryle's acquaintance, incidentally. It's settled then. Keep your eyes peeled while we make for the village. Uh-oh. I really hope Metsia doesn't get kidnapped, because I already like that guy. Hey, what is my level 70 or 80 inner chaos? What? Nascent chaos. What is nascent chaos? Oh, traits. I have no idea what that new thing is I got. Okay, whatever. Alright. Well, yeah. I just got a couple cookies. Oh. Oh, you were gone? Okay. We decided to go follow Metsia because he's Arcasadora, and they were saying they learned that most of the people who are getting kidnapped for the tower are Arcasadora. So we were worried he's gonna get kidnapped. You do not see Mattia nearby, but the elevated ground up ahead may provide a better vantage point. I know. I don't want him to get it. You do not see Mattia from here either. No! Leave me alone! Help! Somebody help! Mattia's voice, and it came from the north. Oh no! We gotta save him. I made my chocobo out. There we go. Huh? Where did they go? Why are you here? I see you found them in time. Your friends came to look for me. I don't know how to thank you. On my way home, I took a moment to stop and rest. Think about what to do about, well, everything. And then those men came. Kidnappers. We'd heard that the Arcasadora were being targeted. Surely you have as well. Perhaps it's best if you took refuge in the city. We've considered it, me and the others, but fishing is all we know. The ocean, all we have. I see. That's your decision to make, but you should take care not to travel alone. Not along. A question, if I may. 'Tis our understanding that strange fiends have emerged from the tower. What canst thou tell us of these beings? Not much, I'm afraid. I have no idea what they are. But I've heard that some bear an unsettling resemblance to our divinities. For that reason, some have taken to calling the tower Zat. House of Divinities, in the old tongue it means. But they're not true divinities. There are monstrous limitations that bring only death. To have one's faith so twisted is a grievous indignity, and full justified art thou in thine rage, or outrage. Know that 'tis for no other purpose but to neutralize the tower that we have journeyed to this land. In time, we may be forced to contend with these false gods, and thus we would learn all we may about them. Wilt thou not tell us of thy divinities and their true nature? You've come all this way to save us. Really? To think I had you peddling fish. But to answer your question, yes, of course. We would gladly tell you about our gods. We, I say, because I'm a terrible storyteller, and I'd ask my fellow villagers to do it. So please, come to our village. We're good, God-fearing folk, all of us, and we'd be honored to share our knowledge, and fish. What sayest thou? Shall we pay a visit to Akyali? Wonderful! Just follow the road west and down the hill. You can't miss it. So, 'tis the simulacra of Tavnerian gods that are being summoned. If any doubt existed before, there can be none now. The kidnapped Hanish are imprisoned in the tower. I pray that we will be able to save them. Though indeed, saving them will mean confronting their false gods, like as not. Aye, as you said, we do well to study their religious traditions. To Akyali. Yes, we're going to visit the elephants. On. Welcome to Akyali, my friend. The name means white beach, and there isn't much here to save that. But please make yourself at home. Your companions have already begun talking to everyone. Feel free to show yourself around and do the same. Any one of us can tell you about our gods. But you could do worse than to start with Kinga and old Hazieta. I guess that's how you say it. They're free at the moment as it happens. You wish to know about our gods. A curious visitor you are. Most want fish. In any case, I'd be happy to oblige. Now, I don't know how it is once you hail, but our isle is home to many gods. They can be divided into two groups. The Manusia, beings of wisdom who assume the form of men, and the Murga, beings of might who assume the form of beasts. Together they are divinities, their forms and personalities many and varied. Some are kind and gentle, others stern and temperamental, just like we mortals can be. All are possessed of great insight and experience, and by heeding their teachings, we strive to be better people and live better lives. Interested in learning about our gods, you say? Hey, that's what I like to hear. Prick up your ears then and listen. In ancient times, the Manusia and the Murga, deities who look like men and beasts respectively, were locked in conflict. Eventually, seeking the wisdom of the Manusia, the Murga cast aside their own heads and took up those of their foes. Likewise, the Manusia coveted the might of the Murga, and so they too resolved to trade heads. Thus were born new gods, possessed of both might and wisdom, and they ushered in an age of harmony between the two factions. From then on, as a sign of their esteem for one another, the Manusia have worn animal faces and the Murga the limbs of men. Okay, that's weird. There you are. Learned a thing or two about our gods, I trust. While you were off talking to the others, I remembered something that may be of interest. If you could let your friends know, I'll go and fetch it from my home at once. I need to finish this cookie! I want to eat it. Please be a voice cutscene, please. Probably not. Alright, hold on a second. I gotta swallow this cookie. There we go. Nom nom, yes. Apologies for the wait. I wish to show you this hanging scroll, which depicts 3 of our most revered deities. By all means, we should like to see it. They are Manusia. You heard about them already, yes? 3 sisters. The center one is the eldest, Cinderuva, a goddess of wisdom. For this, alchemists hold her in the highest. To her right is the middle sister, Sandaruva. As a goddess of wealth, she counts many traders among her followers. And on the left is Mindaruva, the youngest sibling. She presides over the crafts, and so is beloved by weavers. Although each is worshipped for different reasons, the sisters are usually portrayed together in these works, which people keep in their homes for good fortune. And like fashion to the Manusia, the deities of Eorzea preside over myriad aspects of life. And what of the Murga, if I may ask? The Murga hold power over nature. In ages past, they were revered as guardian deities in times of conflict. If you have occasion to visit our temples and ruins, you'll find their images there. Among them is a god who possesses a Gaja's head, and he is venerated as the progenitor of the Arcazadora. And then there are dragons. They occupy a special place in our history. You worship dragons too. It's said that an ancestor of the satrap, that's the ruler of Razat-Han, forged a covenant with a dragon divinity in ancient times. This divinity has since acted as the guardian deity of the satrap. Legend holds that if ever the satrap is in need, his dragon ally will fly to his aid. Dragon ally. You claim to be a terrible storyteller, but nothing could be further from the truth. The passion you bear for your faith is plain to hear. I am confident that the information you've given us will serve us well in our efforts to deal with the tower. That is very kind of you to say. Thank you. I will pray for your success. Right. I believe it's time we sought out Kryle's acquaintance. An alchemist by the name of Nadana. According to Kryle's notes, we're to find her at a place called the Great Work, further north along the coast. You're gonna notice that the expansion, the quest lines and everything, it's like, this is actually way longer than the previous expansion, so it's gonna take us a while to get through the story. But, we'll get there. We'll get there. I have one more cookie bite. Let me just finish this up before we continue. So the cookie will no longer tempt me. And I can read. Almost. Alright. Cookie is gone. The temptation is past. Alright. Did you say you're going to see Nadana? Oh, how I envy you. She's brilliant and beautiful, kind and understanding. And did I say she's beautiful? Oh, I could stare at her dainty ears and adorable trunk all day. And those eyes. When you meet her, take care you don't drown in them. Oh, Matsuya is so cute. Oh, he's in love. That was not lewd. He just said she's beautiful. Oh my gosh. What is going on here? If there was a battle, there's a conspicuous lack of blood. In such manner did we find them. What could have befallen these people? What in the world?
Their dress marks them as alchemists. I see no evidence of injury or poison.
Thinkest thou they but slumber?
I believe so. Whether it is by choice is another question entirely.
Oh, we have guests. You must excuse the poor welcome. Long days and longer nights have taken their toll, as you can see. I am Vashan, servant to the satrap. My task was, in fact, to wake these good men and women, if you will allow. People of the great work, I come bearing new scales.
Scales? We have new scales?
Yes, my friends. Gather round. I have them right here.
Yeah.
Oh, happy day. Now I can continue my experiment.
Many thanks.
One for me.
Those are dragon scales.
Yes, such materials are vital to their most pressing research.
And we are fortunate to have them. Our experiments are so close to bearing fruit. Soon we will have a talisman capable of nullifying the etheric emissions from that accursed tower. Did I say something wrong? Are you not here with Varshan? Wait, who are you people? Of course! You're the one Kryl sent. The warrior of light we've been waiting for.
Oh, this is a day of celebration. Praise be to Cinderova!
The winds have shifted. I feel it. The end to our toil is near.
I feel it too. My head hasn't been this clear in days.
Tell me, how did you acquire those scales?
Curious that it concerns you so. But worry not. They were freely given by the dragon with whom our satrap has forged a lawful pact.
That is well.
You must be quite familiar with Dragonkin, yes?
Is this their congealed blood I see on your weapon?
Oh my god.
Speaking of dragon blood, you yourself have been infused with it, have you not? I should like to draw a file or two, if so. Now, see here.
Oh gosh.
Come along, come along. I must insist that you visit our laboratory.
Poor Stinian.
Cease your shoving, or so help me.
Oh dear, your poor companion. What with the new scales and your timely arrival, my colleagues are a little giddy with excitement. No harm will come to him, I promise. Meanwhile, shall we find a quiet place to talk? As you may have guessed, I am Nidana, the alchemist who sent the request to your Mistress Kryl. We have workshops across the nation collaborating on this research project. But it is here, at the Great Work, where I collate our results. Come with me, all of you, and I can explain the crux of the situation.
Alright. Well. Yeah, now he's gonna be the... Oh, poor Stinian. Oh, for the days when I enjoyed such fervent adoration. But on this occasion, I am glad to entrust the burden of popularity to a Stinian. It is said that shellfish is ideal for those who have suffered blood loss. Mayhap we should have acquired some from Matsia. Maybe no mind. Pray pay me no mind. I am here that I may be of service, nothing more. Allow me to thank you for answering our call. Many towers have appeared around the world, and we are grateful that you would assist us with ours. Though Kryl herself is tied up with another investigation, Wisdom is an eminently capable substitute, and will spare no effort to aid you. So, if I understand correctly, you seek to make talismans that can nullify ether emissions. Indeed we do. As you know, the tower emits vast concentrations of ether. One cannot go anywhere near it without being tempered. As such, we can only study the tower from afar, and are powerless to deal with it in any consequential way. In order to strike back, the satrap bade us, alchemists, create enchanted talismans. Talismans that will allow our soldiers to venture into the tower, even should they lack innate protection. Laura is sus. Could such a thing be possible? Admittedly, we are still in the midst of testing, but we are quite confident. Even prior to this, our people have long pursued countermeasures against the etheric corruption of primals. Of the methods tested to date, those utilizing dragon scales proved the most promising. Owing to their etheric density, the scales are highly resistant to disruptive forces. The mightier the dragon, the greater the resistance. We seek to amplify this protective property through our alchemy. Thanks to the scales provided by His Excellency, we have been able to make steady progress with the talisman. Soon we will be ready to conduct a field test, and here is where you and your blessing of light come in. Better than having my blood drawn, I suppose. What exactly is it that you need me to do? Oh, nothing complicated, I assure you. We only ask that you serve as an escort. I will explain in greater detail later, but you will be venturing into the tower's field of influence. And so, for your own safety, I would first test how well your blessing shields you, with your permission, of course. In that case, Oriange and I will find other ways to make ourselves useful, seeing as you all work to the point of collapse. I suspect you could do with more hands. We would be grateful for any assistance you can provide. If you are ready, then let us put your blessing to the proof. If you exit the Great Work and turn south, there will be a hill to the right. I will meet you at the top after seeing to some preparations. Good luck with the test. I shall remain here to assist the other alchemists. Alright, Barshan. Alright. I hope you didn't have trouble finding this place, or climbing the hill. Not all are accustomed to the physical strain. I give you the fruit of our sweat, tears, and many a sleepless night, the drunken Deepa. A Deepa is a lantern, presented to the gods as an offering. Taking inspiration from the tradition, we created this device to test the talisman's efficacy. Upon activation, it will move a certain distance before emitting a powerful blast of ether. In lieu of corruption, those lacking sufficient protection will experience severe ether sickness. For your test, you will be exposed 4 times. That should be enough to ascertain your blessing's protective capability. Please begin whenever you're ready. I shall be observing from a safe distance. A drunken Deepa. Alright. Commencing etheric exposure testing. Repeat. Commencing etheric exposure testing. Retreat to a safe distance if you are not the subject. Follow the drunken Deepa's lead and try not to fall behind. No, she's not gonna give me booze. I wouldn't mind it, but... Readying ether. Please stand back. Do I have to stand back? Oh, I gotta talk to it. Oh shit. Warning! Discharging ether. You were struck by a powerful blast of ether, but suffered no ill effects. Subject has no irrepressible urge to empty their stomach. Confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow. Alright. Gonna take a look at it. It's just a lantern. See it? I don't know. What's taking so long? Oh, I have to stand back, I guess. What is going on? Okay, this quest is annoying. Oh, there we go. You were struck by another powerful blast of ether, but suffered no ill effects. It is drunk. Subject stomach and bowel integrity holding. Confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow. Why don't we have a lantern for a pet? I want a drunken Deepa for a pet. Alright, stand back. You were struck by yet another powerful blast of ether, but suffered no ill effects. The blessing of light appears to be keeping you safe from harm. Subject fortitude rated impressive. No irregularities. Confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow and brace for final discharge. Alright, readying ether. You were struck by the strongest blast of ether yet, but survived completely unscathed. Etheric exposure testing concluded. Please collect and deliver me to the supervising alchemist. Congratulations on retaining your composure and your humors. Composure and humors. Alright, back to Dana. Oh, she's right here. Ah, you've returned, and not on your knees. A promising sign. But come, let me take the Deepa off your hands. Thank you. I shall replenish its ether for when we test the talisman. So, no dizziness or nausea or anything of the sort? You're feeling perfectly fine? And the strength of your blessing is beyond doubt. There is no risk that the tower will corrupt your ether. With this, we can request your aid for the task ahead with easy hearts. You are a capable warrior too, are you not? Would you be amenable to assisting me with another errand? You see, our talisman requires the use of a special ink, but we have exhausted our stores of a key ingredient for it, spirit weed. The herb grows not far from here, and I would like to go and harvest some. With the recent spate of kidnappings, however, the Arcasadora travel alone at our own peril. Will you not come with me as an escort? I would compensate you for your troubles, of course. Oh, I'm in your debt. Without further ado, let us head to Kajaya's footsteps. It is situated on the road which runs east of the Great Work. I'm not very good with these Indian-sounding names. Not very good. Or is it Hindi-sounding? Because Indian isn't a language. Hindi is, I think. I may simply be imagining it, but I feel as though we're being followed. Look out, Rislin! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Made short work of them. Gods, that gave me a fright. To think that the moment I ventured outside the safety of the work. Like the sisters, I asked you to come with me. You're all right, I hope. Good, good. Let's continue on then. It isn't far now, just through these pillars and up the rise. We're here. Kajaya's footsteps. Kajaya was a great dancer, and those who follow in her, well, you know, they come to this place to train and dedicate their dance to their ancestors. A happy benefit of this is that spirit weed grows here in abundance. I will set about harvesting at once, if you would be so good as to stand guard. Kidnappers aren't like to return soon, but better safe than sorry. I guess we just stand watch.
Yes, that would be Rajat Khan. Hardly anyone has been allowed in or out since our troubles with the tower began. The faithful citizens huddle inside the city walls, and commerce has all but ground to a standstill. I pity the satrap, the trials he must be facing.
Do you trust the... I don't know. I'll just... What can you tell me of the satrap?
Well, He is the most important person in Rajadhan. Long ago, this island was home to two tribes of Matanga, the Gajasura and the Arkasodra. When the Aura came to these shores, it was the Arkasodra with whom they joined forces. Together they defeated the warlike Gajasura, forcing them to flee Thavnair altogether.
That wasn't my phone.
Peace and prosperity reigned for a time, until a clan of Hjor from the mainland decided they wanted the island for themselves. It was a direct ancestor of the present satrap who arbitrated that conflict and welded the warring factions into the nation we know today. And ever since, a member of that esteemed lineage has inherited this somewhat unique position. You see, by and large, the state is run by the people, but when problems arise, it is the satrap who mediates the solution. The stability provided by the satrap is what has allowed Rajadhan to thrive all these years. And it was the satrap himself who entrusted us with this duty. We will not fail him, nor our countrymen.
What is the delay with the vessel? I told you I need to adjust those ratios.
Uh-oh. Fucking Fan Daniel.
I come all this way to admire one of my splendid towers, and what do I find? Fools attempting to ward off its tempering influence with magic trinkets. I seem to recall a similar experiment in ages past. What was that man's name? Oh, something. Owen? Another body, another time. Who could be expected to remember every trivial detail?
Allowing them to construct such handy talismans would be counterproductive to my plans. And yet, I find myself deathly curious. How will they manage this feat with the limited knowledge and resources at their disposal? Complications be damned. For we cannot escape the nature of our souls. And I, as ever, am my own worst enemy.
Freaking Fan Daniel. I have enough spirit weed to last us a good while. Thank you for keeping watch. Let us head back to the great work, shall we? We're just gonna hearth over there. Or not hearth. Port over there. There's no hearthing in this game. Wrong game. Rislin, my thanks again for your assistance. With your help, we're that little bit closer to completing our talisman. This isn't much, but please accept it as a token of my gratitude. What quest are we on? On! I gotta pull up that MSQ list. Let's see. We're on a boy's errand. Oh! Alright, so we may actually be, finishing up this area here soon. We got 3 more quests for this area. Alright. No cheating, stop. What we'll probably do is we'll do these 3 quests, and I'll probably call it because I gotta get ready for that company that's coming over. But it'll be a good place to stop because we'll have finished this area, and then we'll get to the Charlian area next week, and then which will lead into the first dungeon, so. If you'll excuse me, I shall return to my work on the talisman. Ah, you are both back. Excellent. I have a message for you, Mistress Nadana. It would seem the stores of Giant Skull are running low. What? But when at last I looked, there was still plenty. I suspect that was before Ariane J told everyone about their tempering cure, and Estivian shared his knowledge of dragons. Your pairs have since been inspired to fashion a number of new talisman prototypes. I see. Well, if it leads to new possibilities, then far be it from me to complain, but we will need to replenish our stores. I should be happy to tend to this if you like. As much as I appreciate the offer, my dear boy, I can in good conscience send you out there alone while kidnappers are at large. As loath though I am to press another task on you so soon, might I ask you to fetch the Giant Skull? In case you're not familiar, Giant Skull is a type of ore found on the island. Owing to its hardness and ethereal conductivity, it has applications in many disciplines, alchemy not least of all. The quarry where it is found, aptly named Giant Skull Grounds, isn't far away, so it shouldn't take much of your time. May we impose on you once more? Of course, always chores. Always chores. Thank you. Upon arriving at the grounds, please seek out a man named Zenua. He will furnish you with the ore. At the very least, permit me to accompany you. It so happens I have an errand of my own that will take me to the outpost nearby. May we borrow a pair of hamsa, Mistress Nadana? Oh, by all means. Do try to be patient with them. Those that survived are still in training. I will bring the hamsa to the entrance. Meet me there when you are ready. Alright. I don't only have to take a freaking hamsa when I can fly, but whatever. I think there are like birds that you can mount. Here are our hamsa, Rizlan. If the creatures look familiar, it is because they are close kin to your Eorzean dodos. Hamsa have long been kept as livestock in Tavnir, and many a hettery may be found here. Alas, the largest of these was recently raised by monsters from the tower. On account of said hatchery being situated near the tower, the Radiant Host repurposed its remnants as an outpost. That is where my errand takes place, and your own destination is but a stone's throw away. If you have no objections, let us first make for the outpost. We set forth at your word. Alright. Fat pelicans? Nah, I don't know. Are you ready? Then let us depart. You need only ride and relax. My bird and I will take the lead for yours to follow. Alright. Let us be off. If you haven't ridden dodos before, be warned that they have a wobbling gait. It looks silly on this thing. That spectacular formation stretching out over the water is called Khadga. Yeah, he's talking too fast. A word which means sword. This sword, legend holds, was wielded by the Manusia against the Murga before it was cast down at conflict's end. To the left and requiring no introduction is the tower. As you can see, it straddles a small isle. Almost there. Though the main part of the hatchery is atop the cliff, the outpost itself is on the beach. And there we are. Manned by the Radiant host, this outpost is our first line of defense against the tower. Well, well, who should it be? I'll be but young Varshan. On an errand for the satrap? This Chewie actually scratching up the arm of my chair. I am. His Excellency bade me come to collect your report. He also wished to express his heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women of the Radiant host for their unflagging dedication. We simply do our duty, but we are honored to receive His Excellency's regard. And yet, for his boundless benevolence, his treatment of one so young could be regarded as callous. Though we have enjoyed relative peace and calm these past few days, this remains the front line of battle, no place for children. Your predecessor too often traveled alone. It's been, what, 2 years now since you took over? I wonder how the fellow is faring. Like those before him, he went on to represent the satrap in foreign lands. Wherever he may be now, I am certain he is well. As for yourself, I assure you that all I do of my own volition, and gladly. I pray you do not think ill of His Excellency. Certainly not, lad. Whatever happens, my faith in the satrap is unwavering. But still, I worry for you. We would be overcome with sadness if something were to befall you, for you are as a little brother to us all. Take care, do you hear? I will, Nadine. Thank you. And who might this be? Not Hanish by the look of her. Permit me to introduce Brislin Hallis of the Eorzean contingent, come to assist in the making of the talisman. From Eorzea, you say? Towers have appeared over there too, yes? Tell me, what is the situation like? May I suggest that you exchange information with our soldiers? Both parties would stand to learn something of value, I believe. An excellent idea. Given the unprecedented nature of the threat, some of ours are understandably anxious. We would be glad for any tidings you can share. You too. Bring Varshan the latest report and answer any questions he may have. All appears quiet with the tower at the moment. I dare say the soldiers won't mind if you approach them. Why is the music so low? What the heck? Oh, my headset was turned down. I don't know how that happened. I've heard about you, the visitor from Eorzea. Is there anything you can tell us about the Telophori? We know that they're the ones behind the tower, and that they've declared war on the whole world. But why are they doing this? What is it that they want? This, we don't understand. It might have been Chewie. He was pawing at it. Come here. Chews, come here. Chewie, I said come here. Get your butt over here. Oh, he's just looking at me. You just don't care. What? They want to die? Take everyone with them? What madness is this? Well, you can bet that we won't let those bastards have their way. We'll fight them with everything we have, like our Eorzean and Far Eastern brothers. occurs to me I have yet to properly introduce our company. We are the Radiant Host, a military order under the Satrap's command. Our duty is to preserve peace in the land, be it patrolling the streets or dealing with heretofore unknown threats such as now. We train hard and admit only capable warriors to our ranks. Even so, we've struggled to contend with the fiends from the tower. Though we succeeded in striking them down on the 2 occasions they came in for us, we had to pay a heavy price. What of the towers in Eorzea? Do they likewise spawn monsters? So it's much the same everywhere, with every nation struggling. We cannot expect calls for outside aid to be answered. You probably just won, Stunner. You wish to know about the tower? To be honest, we know little and less about it ourselves. This Tower of Zat, as folk have taken to calling it, suddenly appeared where it did on the Isle of Nurnair. We're safe from its influence at this distance, but go too far into the water and you'll expose yourself to its corrupting ether. You're a foreigner, aren't you? How are they dealing with the tower in your homeland? Not very well. Our struggles are not unique, and our hopes still lie with the talismans. We must keep the monsters contained until they're ready. Finished speaking with the soldiers, have you? I hope it was as enlightening for you as it was for them. As a neutral nation and trading hub both, Razatan ordinarily receives a steady stream of news from abroad. Alas, this stream dried up when trading vessels stopped coming. Amidst this dearth of information, everyone will have been grateful for your account. But come, let us see to your original errand. As mine will keep me here a while longer, however, I'm afraid I cannot guide you to the rest of the way. Worry not, the path is straightforward. You need but follow the road east, upon the Hamsan. You will arrive before you know it. Brief though it was, I enjoyed our time together. Till we meet again. Alright, time to ride another Hamsa. Though the Hamsa appears to want to return home, it reluctantly offers you its back. Should you become separated from your steed, speak with the Radiant Beastkeeper at the Hamsa hatchery to mount it again. Alright. Let's go. Where do I have to go now? Giant skull. What? Oh, it's this little dot here. This teeny dot there. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, level 81s. Is that a village in that mountain? So here. I guess that's where we're going. It is a long way. Oh, wrong way. I just want to look closer at what I look like on this fat pelican. Yeah, this is... Look at his eyes. It's just like... They look kind of vacant. No sooner do you arrive at your destination than the Hamsa dashes off. Aye, this is indeed the Giant Skull grounds, and I am Zenuha. Zenuha. Is there something you require? Giant Skull for the alchemists, you say? But of course they shall have it. They labor tirelessly to deal with the tower, and 'tis the least we can do to provide them with the materials they need. Oh yeah, music's way louder now. Here you are, a sack of the purest giant skull. We always set some aside for our alchemist friends. When you deliver it, let the good folk of the great work know that we're grateful for their efforts. If they need more, they need but ask. I'm going. Might as well just put this stuff back in my bags. At all the saddlebag. At all the saddlebag. Chewie, what are you doing? Oh my god, cats. Stop. Alright, she's back in here. What? Come here. You rubbing against the thing and you're turning down my musics. Ah, welcome back, Frislin. Dare I hope you have the giant skull. Oh my, such fine specimens. Thank you so much for bringing these. We now have everything we need to make our next prototype, one that should be capable of passing our most rigorous tests. When it is ready, it will be time for the true test, so please take your ease while you can.
I see our taskmasters have allowed you a moment's respite as well. You have to hand it to these alchemists. They are determined to see this endeavor of theirs succeed. I've never been one for blind optimism, but I sincerely get the sense they're close to a breakthrough.
They had better be, or all this effort was for naught.
The peoples of Eorzea, of the Far East, of Thavner, children of this star united in common cause against a dire threat. Yet ere they succumbed to suicidal madness, were not the Telophoroi born of her body as were we? They who cling to life and the promise of the morrow's dawn, against they who desire death and an ending of their own orchestration. The victors of this war alone will hold the right to answer the question of existence, of its meaning, and its worth.
Poetic and ominous to a fault. That said, if it's an existential debate in nature, then our arguments might not be as persuasive as you'd think. Fandaniel wants to die and take everyone with him in an orgy of pain and suffering. An utterly vile and unforgivable idea. And yet, when spat upon by fate and wailing in the deepest pit of despair, who among us can say they have not entertained similar thoughts? There are nights black as pitch, bereft of hope, and no words of comfort can reach you. And it's all you can do to grit your teeth and choke back the bile.
Dang, Thinker, it's getting dark.
The more you see and suffer life's injustices, the more difficult they become to bear. Vengeance is nurtured in similar soil. Though your anger has a broader focus, the sentiment is much the same. A fervent desire to destroy others, to see them drown in torment, as you have.
That about sums it up. The will to endure is not always as strong as the urge to burn it all down and salt the earth. Survival be damned. It's a struggle, often close and brutal.
Indeed. Well, I, for one, shall pray survival proveth more appealing in the end.
As will I. Besides, our chances are much improved when we've the company of others committed to the cause of life. Our vengeful dragoon here is proof of that.
What? That fucker. That fucker Van Daniel. Let me at him.
What is it? What did you see? Van Daniel, are you sure? If he knows we've been working on a countermeasure.
It holds. The vessel holds. This is the one.
Yes, the spy.
At long last.
Look! We have finally created a talisman strong enough to withstand our experiments. We've named it a warding scale for the time being. With this in your possession, your soul should be completely shielded from corruptive ether.
Afforded such protection, any one of us may approach the towers without fear. Thou hast mine admiration. 'Tis an invention of historical significance.
I thank you for your kind words. But I would prefer you keep them unsaid until we test the talisman's efficacy in the field. It is for the next stage of our plan that we summoned you in the first place, to accompany me to the Tower of Zot. Should the scale prove effective, as I very much hope it will, then you'll have little to do. But should the effect be weaker than anticipated, I must ask that you restrain me, or knock me senseless.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Either way, we are fortunate to have you with us.
Nidana, are you certain you wish to do this?
If others are to trust our creations, then we must have faith in them first. And as the senior researcher, it falls to me to lead by example. But should I fail to return, then learn what you can from this attempt and apply it to the next. Our work must continue. Is that clear?
We'll keep an eye on the place while you're away. Assuming Van Daniel is lurking about, there's no telling what mischief he has in mind for us, or you. Be on your guard.
Shall we be on our way? I'll have one of the soldiers at the hatchery prepare us a boat, and we can set out from the northern shore. I'll see you there.
I hope I don't have to knock her senseless. I like Nadana. And she's got those bottomless blue or black eyes that you can lose yourself in. Stop. This is a rather finer boat than I had expected, but I won't complain. All that remains is to board and be in our way. Oh, and if I should become corrupted, do not stay your hand. Of course, I pray it does not come to that, but you must protect yourself. Other alchemists can fulfill my role, but you and your blessing are one of a kind. Perhaps our only hope for toppling this tower. For all our sakes, do not hesitate to do what must be done, whatever that may be. Well, the longer I draw this out, the more nervous I become. Let's be off. Alright.
We should soon cross the threshold of the tower's influence. Any moment now. It's working! And you are still yourself? Then I'd like to see how it fares closer to the tower if we could. So far, so good. The scale's protection appears to be holding. If we can just make it to the tower's entrance. A few more steps. Praise be to the sisters, we made it! And the scale has proven itself to be everything we hoped it would be. Now we can focus on production. Once we've equipped and returned with an entire survey team, this menace will soon give up its secrets. What?
Oh no. No! Donna. No!
Oh, let me go! Oh, let me go! Oh!
Oh, do calm down. You'll only hurt yourself thrashing about like that.
Stop! Oh, you can't do this! Please!
No!
A little late for heroics, I'm afraid. The similarities are striking. My! Such hostility! Never before has my artistry so displeased. My patrons of old would have positively squealed in delight, though, between you and me, I find gushing praise exhausting.
What are you talking about?
Allow me to tell you a story. Surely you've yet to hear the one about Van Daniel, the sundered Ascian. I inherited the position and the soul of the Fandaniel who sat on the convocation in the time of the final days, theoretically speaking. Practically speaking, that fact is of no consequence. I was born and lived as, well, me. Eventually, I was recruited into the Ascians and imbued with the former Fandaniel's knowledge and memories, but I never felt that they were truly a part of who I am. How to explain? Perhaps if I told you who I was before my Ascian embrace, although that chapter too is a past I've long since discarded. I have it on good authority you've poked your nose into an Allegan ruin or two. Yes? Then I expect you've heard of me. The old me.
What?
At your service. Imagine a nation of unbridled prosperity. Every need met, day after day of unbroken, unshakable peace. Existence fulfilled and ripe for decay.
You are a genius without peer, Amon. However do you conceive of such delightful experiments? That fool was beside himself with panic when he awoke with the head of a bull. Even his cries for help emerged as so much guttural lowing. Oh, the memory of it. My poor sides. My friends and I were so consumed by laughter we struggled to breathe. No more than entertainment for bored wastrels ignorant of its worth. My all-consuming work. But it was not their only indulgence. For they were ever hungry for stimulation. Slaves to the slightest hint, and amusement was afoot. Our nation was ailing, but I would see the poison purged. I resurrected a legend, our first and greatest emperor. And just as I had planned, he set our wayward empire back on the path of conquest. An inexhaustible ambition carried us onwards, always onwards. Yet, he who delivered to us such glory was not to be satisfied.
Heed me, Amon. No matter how vast one's empire, or full one's treasure vault, all is rendered meaningless by death. In the end, all is lost.
You know as well as I that the Emperor stands to lose this war, and so I have come to claim you. For while your methods leave something to be desired, we cannot deny the results of your work. And as fortune would have it, the seat of Fandaniel, your rightful seat, lies vacant and waiting. Take your place amongst your peers, rather than die a pointless death amidst the ashes of your doomed nation. Send one of your clones to the Crystal Tower that you might see for yourself.
See what lies ahead.
The fall of the Empire affirmed the truth. Majestic and tragic, as the Emperor foresaw. Scheme as you like, build as you will, nothing endures. What is life but a brief jaunt ending in emptiness?
Where you go? Oh, for fuck's sake. I might kill him.
So easily distracted. Why, I almost left without saying farewell. As for your friend, you needn't worry. These pawns are far more useful to me alive as fuel for the primers. If you attempt to pull them free, they will die. So, enjoy tackling that conundrum with your comrades. We shall meet again! Not in one of these minor spires, oh no, but somewhere more suitably grandiose. Your favorite playmate is ever so eager to see you.
No, not Cenos! Ugh! My favorite playmate. Yeah, sure. Ah, but you were returned, but where is Mistress Nadana? Manusia preserved. Just when we had succeeded in making the talisman. I must report this at once. Meanwhile, please return to the great work. Yes, he does. He wants a, what is it? We already had a rematch. It's the third time. Third time's the charm, I guess. He really wants to fucking fight me again. This guy. This guy! Fucking guy. Something's gone awry, hasn't it? What happened? So it was Van Daniel after all. Damn that bastard. I was sure you wanted to do more, but you were right to return here first. We must tread warily lest we endanger Nadana and the other captives. First, we must inform everyone of the situation, Nadana's colleagues included. I'll call them together for a gathering, but I think it would be best if you were the one to explain. I'm not very good at explaining. Oh, Nadana. Can you answer me this? Though Nadana is trapped in the tower, she's still alive, yes? Then we must make warding scales. As many as we can. The prototype works perfectly. This Nadana proved at peril to herself. So let us make more scales, that she and all those who were taken might be saved. I, as alchemist, this is how we would help win the fight. My friends, the satrap has been made aware of the tragedy. He offers his heartfelt condolences and reiterates his pledge to provide you with all that you require. To that end, he bade me give you this link pearl, and that he might personally discuss the production of the warding skills with you. And for our Eorzean visitors, I bear an invitation. In her report, Mistress Nadana noted your vital contributions to the talisman's creation. This fact came to the satrap's attention, and in recognition of your deeds, he wishes to meet you. In addition to thanking you in person, he would also discuss further avenues of collaboration. And so, if it is agreeable, will you not accompany me to Razatan for an audience with His Excellency? We should be honored, of course. Closer cooperation between our lands can only be to the benefit of all. Then it is settled. Please come to the gates east of the Giant Skull grounds. I will show you into the city. We're going to see the satrap. Ugh, alright. This is the last quest before we break, so... And it's raining. Freaking Van Daniel. Oh, I'm gonna kill that guy. Ugh. It's kind of hard to see, but well, we do have to protect the alchemists. We're gonna make more scales, more talismans. When last I visited, the city was brimming with life. I expect the tower has dampened the mood somewhat. Be it here or in Eorzea, all share in the desire to deliver the captives. Thus united, I pray that we may join in common cause with the satrap. Of the satrap, I only know the common tidbits, that though the position is hereditary, he is not considered a sovereign, and that despite possessing considerable authority, he wields it sparingly. Given this esteem in which the locals hold him, however, it's safe to assume that he's good at his job. We could do far worse for an ally. All present? Then let us proceed. Owing to the threat of the tower, the city is currently in a state of high alert, and strict restrictions are in place for entry. Although you have been granted a special permission, I ask that you remain close to me at all times.
A vast rock squats upon Thavnair, and to its stony surface clings the city of Radz-at-Han. Ye who enter here are subject to the scrutiny of gods, the gate's most watchful eye. The orb which beholdeth the truth of all things.
That looks like an angry eye. Nashu.
It's like she's looking for attention.
Mm-hmm. She wants food.
Pass beneath its hot and piercing gaze, bearing down like a second midday sun. The fragrant haze, a mixture of sweet incense and acrid smoke. The cries of merchants mingled here with lively melodies accented by dancers' feet. Travelers seduced by vivid sound and colors were once swallowed up by patchwork streets. But no such scenes to savor now. To what somber present does that divine eye bear witness?
Here we are, Megaduta. It seems a shame to bring you here directly. Under normal circumstances, it would have been my pleasure to show you the sights.
And it would have been our pleasure to see them. Alas, it seems our tour of the city will have to wait.
I'm afraid so. Come, we should head inside.
Oh boy. Stop, BB-10. Oh my god.
Your Excellency, may I present our honored visitors?
Ah, splendid. Most splendid. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ahawan, satrap of Radzat-Han. Our alchemists tell me your assistance was invaluable in the creation of the warding scale. Such deeds ought to be recognized in person. Thus did I have young Varshan convey you here forthwith. On behalf of my people, may I express to you our sincere gratitude.
Well, not everything went to plan.
I assume you speak of Nidana. A regrettable incident indeed.
Come on, dang it, get out of here.
Her colleagues insist that we honor her wishes and trust in the talisman. That it will be instrumental in saving Nidana and the others. I am eager to hear your opinion on the matter, so let us not stand on ceremony. Come, sit.
I think not.
What?
This charade has gone on long enough. Show yourself.
Forgive me, but were you expecting musicians, perhaps? There are no performers waiting in the wings at present, but arrangements could be made if you'd prefer.
Yeah, I did get you.
He hath the right of it. The time for artifice is past. Raise the curtain.
As you wish.
You travel as assistants to the students of Valdesian, but you are known to me. Even here have we heard of the scions of the Seventh Dawn. I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode.
Vritra, of the First Brood, sibling to Hraesvelgr and Nidhogg.
Aye, mine elder brothers, of Midgardsormr's spawn. I was last to hatch.
Yes.
Well, isn't this a surprise? We were told Radzat-Han had an alliance with the dragon. Not that a great worm sat in the satrap's own hall.
A necessary subterfuge, as the true tale of our nation history illustrates most effectively. In the beginning, The rock upon which our city is built was home to Vitra, and Vitra alone. In time, the ancestors of the Matanga came to the island and established a foothold. But never did they dare disturb the worm's lair. Next to arrive with the Aura, adopting the example of their Akasodra allies, they too treated Vitra with reverence and respect. And for many years, an understanding between our forefathers and the Great Worm endured. Until marauding heroes from the mainland came, threatening to shatter our peace and tranquility. When it seemed all would be drowned in blood, Vitra himself came forth and quelled the rising conflict. A peaceful accord was reached, and oaths sworn in Vitra's name. Thus began the dragon's governance of the fledgling state, which was to grow into Radz Athan.
But if Vitra is still here, then your position as Satrap is just...
a charade. Yes. And one which my family has performed faithfully for generations.
Many envy the great worms their power. Were it known that I ruled here, then the fires of war would burn without end. I would not be the flame which consumeth my people. Those few who join me in laying our country's foundations were, perforce, sworn to secrecy.
Your eye. It was taken.
'Tis here, buried within a semblance of flesh. The body before thee is but a simulacrum, constructed by the finest artisans of Razatan. With mine eye nestled within, it doth serve as an inconspicuous vessel for my will.
That would explain why I felt the presence of a dragon upon our first meeting.
I am woven with words fashioned to deceive such arcane senses. Though 'twas short-lived, it seemeth thy fusion with my brother hath left thee much altered. Estinian warmblood.
Yes, he was sus, but he's not. Well, we'll just keep going. Just staring at each other.
From the very first, we sensed the nature of one another. Yet did neither one of us bare his fangs. That is all I need know of thee for now.
With my secret thus revealed, I have for you a proposal. Not as a worm of the first brood, but as the ruler of Radz Athan. With all haste must we take in hand the finished talismans and breach this foul spire. Thence, should it lay within our power, dispel its wicked influence. Yet even with the assurance of the warding scales, the narrow confines of the tower doth limit the size of our force.
And thus denied strength in numbers, thou must choose thy soldiers with care.
Just so. Yet though our radiant host is formidable, I see a surer path before me. Thou and thy comrades have contended with a multitude of primal beings. Most recently, thou didst cast down false gods in Pagalthan and Kartanau, I am told. 'Tis upon that strength I would call. The Scions have proven themselves the most capable, and I ask that you serve as the tip of our spear. Talismans would, of course, be provided for each of thy companions. And should you agree to this undertaking, more will be provided to make use of as you see fit.
There's no denying it's a dangerous proposition, but the rewards may far outweigh the risk. Just think of what we might accomplish if we could equip all our allies with warding scales. I worry, however, that even the four of us may be too few for what you have in mind. Might we regroup with our friends first to discuss the matter?
'Tis no trifling task that I have laid before you. Go, steel your hearts and hone your plans. Such time as you require shall be spent in crafting your protective charms.
It seems a quick trip back to Sharlayan is in order.
Wilt thou not lend thine aid?
Where's Estinian going? He's like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Whether your request be made as a great worm or the ruler of Rads at Han, I see no reason to refuse, nor will I.
Then where are you going?
I am in thy debt.
I guess he's like already getting ready to. He's already getting ready. He's like, fuck it, let's go. I'm on board. I'm all on board. Let's go. That we should encounter one of the first brood in such a circumstance. If action is decided, let's not tarry. That meeting took a rather unexpected turn, but we now have a clear objective ahead of us. Let us rejoin our comrades in Sharlayan, and muster a suitable crew for our foray into the Tower of Zot. Oh, and if you haven't already done so, be sure to attune to the Aetheryte here before departing, unless of course you enjoy violent nausea. Back to old Sharlayan. The Baldessian Annex, which is right there, but whatever. It's not even that far. I don't enjoy, believe me, I don't enjoy violent nausea at all. No, not at all. Vritra and his alchemists have prepared us for our foray into the tower. What we may accomplish within its twisted halls remaineth to be seen. That how did they say it? Arcus. I don't know how to say it the way they do. Arcasora? I don't know. Arcasadora. I can't say it. Arcasad. That! Languish until Aphroy chains doth forewarn us of the nature of our foe. 'Tis the gods of Thavnir who will be summoned to thwart us. I'm not drunk all the time. Stop it. The conflict between Nidog and I is in the past, and though they were brothers, it has no bearing on my view of Vritra. Above all else, he is a leader of men, not an enemy. He would hardly dedicate his life to this endeavor if he bore our kind any ill will. Just as I was getting used to balmy Thavnir, we're back in chilly Sharlayan. Take care not to catch your death, eh? We need you for the battles to come. Now then, your investigation here remains. But when that's over, we can take stock of all the developments and discoveries. Alright, so the next quest is going to start us on the quest line that's going to take place in Sharlayan. And that's about the same number. It's a bunch of quests. Then we get back to the main quest that conjoins for the Tower of Zot, for that dungeon. And we will get to all of that on next Friday.